Supporters, can you hear me? There we go. It's because of you, our wonderful supporters, partners, and donors, that we are impossible to stop. And so I welcome you this morning to this venue and to a day with us. I'm Vicki Escarra, the CEO of Opportunity International. I think I've met most of you, but if I haven't, I look forward to meeting you over the course of the day. I would share with you the reason we got into sessions like this, which are a little bit different than what we've done in the past, is because we do what all good businesses do, and that is we are listening to our customers. We're listening to our consumers talk about having a half-day session versus a 3-day session. So we'll see how this goes, and if it goes well, we'll do it again, and if it doesn't, we'll do something different. Does that sound good to you all? Great deal. I'll move this down a little bit. So I've got about 15 or 20 minutes, and I'm really excited to share with you our vision, our motivation, and some very big, audacious goals that we have for the organization in between now and 2020. And so let me begin with our vision. A lot of work has gone into this. Would love your feedback, but our vision is a world in which all people have an opportunity to achieve a life free from poverty with dignity and purpose. So to be able to live their lives with dignity and purpose and free from poverty. And you all know that vision statements are meant to be aspirational. Our mission, and our motivation, if we can move this forward. And so this is what we're all about. We know we have been called to this work by Christ's call to love and serve the poor. We're very proud of that. We're also proud of the fact that we work with all people around the world. So we work with people regardless of their faith, their gender, their race, their ethnicity. We are very inclusive. And I heard a lot of conversations as I've gone through the last year around really broadening the tent and making people feel more welcome into this family, into this community. And so that is what we're all about as well, is really being welcoming and being like the Good Samaritan who served everyone around the world. Next slide. Our services, you all know these. You know them so well. This is what we're all about. We're all about a suite of services that provides jobs, it provides security, it provides protection. And wrapped all together, our training for close to 6 million people in 23 countries around the world. So, since 1971, I love this slide. I think it says all that's been done. We stand on shoulders of giant people that have led this organization, many of whom are in the room today. But since 1971, we've helped clients create over 10 million jobs through 23 million loans that are valued at close to $6 billion in capital that's been infused throughout the globe. So I would ask you to think about, is there another organization, is there another nonprofit that can make these kind of statements? I don't think so. This is really hugely life-changing when we start thinking about our mission and what we're doing. But we're not finished. As I said, we have a goal to create 20 million jobs by 2020. What do you guys think about that? I love it. I love it because jobs are the way to help families and communities pull themselves out of poverty. And so I'm sure every single person in the room who's a business person, which you all are, is thinking, how are you going to do that? Well, clearly we're going to have to do the basics better than we're currently doing. We're doing a very, very good job now, but we're going to have to do what we do today, which is around loans, savings, insurance, and training even better than we do today. We're going to have to really gear up technology, which is a key lever for success as we look down the road to 2020. We're going to have more access to products and services like insurance, which we'll talk about in a minute, is really growing at about 175,000 new clients a month. So growing that is important as far as the organization goes, but it's also very important as far as our clients goes because it gives them protection. We're going to reach these numbers by sending more kids to school, which is the future of not only our own country, but the future of the world, is better education for children. And we're also going to continue to create more opportunities to feed the world, to make sure that the world has more water, has food for everyone. And we'll do that through our programs around smallholder farmers. And finally, we'll get there by creating more leaders, because leadership is the heart of everything that happens that's really good at the world. So 20 million jobs by 2020. We can certainly talk more about that as we go through this piece of work this morning. And so I'm sure some of you are asking, well, why do we need to do that, Vicki? Clearly, half the world is living on less than $2 a day. We all know that. That's why we're here. And that's a part of our motivation for being together today. We've got lots of reach. We are around the world. We serve 23 countries. We could talk about the 23rd. We serve almost 6 million clients as we look at closing this year. So lots of global reach. And our model, and what I love talking about, and what is a part of the DNA of Opportunity International, is innovation. We're all about trying new ideas. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But this is a really good example of the model that shows an investment in opportunity, a small investment to an individual that goes into a trust group that is recycled and recycled and recycled, is what makes us really special. And so if you look back 25 years ago, and if you look at an investment of $20,000, $25,000, today that $25,000 investment, anybody want to take a guess on how much it would be worth as a result of being recycled through our banks? One guess. One bold soul out there, make a guess. $1 million, very close. $25,000 over the last 25 years, today is worth $500,000. So I'm stealing David Sims' line. I see you behind the podium, David. But if you can tell me of another organization that can give you that kind of return on investment, I will invest with them. But I don't know of another organization that can give you that kind of investment over 25 years. It's really powerful, and you all know that because you know us well. So, how are we going to get there? Hope I don't set this buzzer off. We're going to get there through good strategy and a lot of support. So, you know, we've been really talking a lot about strategy over the last couple of years. And we've actually had a team of people, not just the Boston Consulting Group that's been working with us on strategy, but teams of people throughout the organization around the globe that have been working on strategy for 2 years. And we're really thankful for that because it's helped us build a strong foundation for support in the future. And there are actually 6 elements of strategy that I'm going to touch on very, very briefly. First is to clarify our mission and strengthen our brand. And we've actually done a tremendous amount of work. David Sims, who's been with the organization at the board level for 20 years, has been helping us lead this around the globe. You all have said to me and to him and to others that in order to really deliver on this mission, we've got to get clearer as far as the globe is concerned around what do we do, how do we do it, who are the clients that we serve. We've got to speak with one voice. Do you all agree with that? Yes, everyone agrees with that because you cannot build, I'm a marketing person by trade, you cannot build a strong brand unless you have a common voice. And so for the first time in the history of Opportunity International, we have all of the members of our organization saying, yes, we are going to speak with one voice, which is huge, sounds simple? It's been a huge accomplishment. And we will be launching a common website, so you don't have to go online and look for opportunity.net, opportunity.com, Opportunity Australia, Opportunity this and that. That was meant to be a joke, guys. But you can look for one website that will serve our donors and our clients around the world. We're going to focus on our portfolio. We're in a lot of places. Should we be in other places? We focus a lot of attention on Africa. Should we be doing more in Asia? So we're looking very seriously at our portfolio, as all great organizations do. We're also looking at where are the high needs and where are the high impact markets. And so you can expect to see us do a deep dive more around the Philippines, more around India, to make sure that where the greatest need is where we are and is where we partner with you all to take us there. So continuing to focus on Latin America, continuing to focus on Africa, but really taking more of a global view. Expanding richness and reach. You're going to hear a lot about this in the breakouts, but we're focused on agriculture, education. We're focused on technology. Very, very important to allow us to go more places and do it better and do it deeper. We're leveraging best practices. So I want to talk just a second about social performance management. Our team has done a lot of work that actually looks at not just measuring financial performance, which we should do and we should be best in class at how we measure ourselves from a financial performance perspective. But there are a lot of other things that actually go into measuring and managing how you change people's lives. And so we have an index that really looks at how are we affecting our clients socially? Are we impacting their lives from a social perspective? How are we impacting them spiritually? How are we impacting them financially? You know, are they getting jobs? Are they creating jobs for other people in their community? Are they sending their children to school? And then finally, what are we doing around impact with regard to their own personal lives? And so you all need to know that we have a big initiative that we are working on globally. We have plans to finish it by 2014, but we're moving that forward more with more urgency, right, David? And so we've got lots of donors that are really excited about helping us really understand the impact of investing in clients. More about that as we go through the day together. And then diversifying and globalizing our funding base, which looks at global impact funds. We're looking at a global debt fund. Things that you would expect us to look at. We're looking at how do we fundraise globally. And we set a target for ourselves that in the next 3 to 5 years, I think we'll hit it in 3 years, that we will be fundraising $100 million. And actually, if you look at the fact that today we're fundraising globally about $60 million, that is not that much of a stretch. In fact, you could say we could get there pretty easily. So we'll probably reset that goal. And then finally, we're simplifying our governance structure. And so many people have said to me, finally I understand that you've got a central person and group of people that everyone can report through that can deliver on metrics both for donors and our clients. And as one of our board members said, I want to know who to choke if things don't go right. So finally, we have somebody that we can choke if things don't go right and hopefully love on if things do. So we've really done a lot of work together in cleaning up our governance structure. And I hope as donors and partners you all appreciate and understand what a big step that is. These are hard numbers. You can ask me questions throughout the day. This really shows what we've done in the last year. I think it's very impressive when you look at loans and at savings and at our insurance products. And as you look at a dollar is $6 over 5 years. So just a little bit around the hard metrics. But other areas of key focus that you know because you've seen our work is that we're working to empower women. We're not intentionally focused on excluding men. I want to be really clear about that as we talk about this. But 93% of the people that we work with in the developing world are women. And all of the studies show that women take 90% of their income and invest it back into their communities and directly back into their families. And so having a goal that looks at empowering women to provide for their children and to become leaders in their community, I think makes really good sense. So a big focus on trying to help women. We're really focused on education. You're going to hear a great breakout today with Nathan and Janelle and others around our focus with regard to kids and really getting education going around the world, educating children. We've got 17,000 people around the world. It's our commitment and our passion to make sure that we give them great opportunities to grow and develop and stay in the opportunity family. So great focus around creating leaders. I'm going to make a comment here about technology, and that is this likely is probably, out of everything I talk about today, the biggest game changer that we will see across the Opportunity Network. We are really pushing mobile money and a mobile platform which will allow us to collect data about our clients, both in education, in agriculture. You think about what I just said about social performance management. You think about sitting down with a client and collecting data about what's going on in their lives and really listening to what's happening. And I was just at a conference called, was a conference focused on mobile money, Better Than Cash Alliance. Some of you have heard this story, but Bill Gates was one of the speakers, and he stood up and was talking, and he said, in one of the best-in-class organizations that really gets the impact of mobile money and mobile technology is Opportunity International in Malawi. You could have knocked me over with a feather. I was seated in the midst of what are some of our competitors, although we're all friendly, and this guy beside me, many of you know Larry Reed, he jabbed me and he said, "How did you get that?" I'm like, I have no idea. I have no idea, but I'm happy. So anyhow, Bill left, and so I jumped up and went down the stairs to thank him. It was the day that the UN Assembly was gathering. So security was unbelievable. You couldn't even get close to the UN building. It was 6 blocks out. Anyhow, he had about 25 people around him, and I said, "Bill!" And he looked at me like, who is this crazy woman? And so did all these security guards. So I went right through the middle of them, and I put my hand out, and I said, you know, I'm the CEO of Opportunity International, and I want to thank you for recognizing us. We've got a great group of people across the globe, but thank you for recognizing our folks in Malawi. And he said, you guys do great work. We've had a great partnership, and we're looking forward to the days ahead. So I will tell you all, I've never felt so close to being totally knocked out by a group of men in my whole life. It is very clear to me they would have knocked me out had they not gotten a sign from Bill that it was okay. But if you don't remember anything from this conference, I want you to think about the fact mobile money, mobile technology that gets out in the rural parts of the world is the way to go, and we are going there. Finally, a lot around helping farmers. You're going to hear a lot more about that today, so I won't go too much into that, but just know that we're on it. You can read this slide. I'm not going to read it. I just want you all to also think about what a history of innovation this organization has been known for. We pioneered microinsurance, health care. We're pioneering and testing it in India today. Agriculture, education. Opportunity International, I can say this because I'm still somewhat of a newbie, is a really innovative organization, and we will continue to be innovative. We will test things to see if they work. But just a history of innovation, and the organization has grown 17 times the size it was since the early 1980s. So, you know, just a lot to be proud of. But I would offer to you that we're not happy with where we are. And all great organizations don't stay standing still. They want more. They want to do more because the need is great. And so I would ask you to watch us, to partner, to hold us accountable, as all great organizations and partners do, as we look into the future, because we are going to do a lot more listening in the days ahead, listening from our key partners and also listening from donors. I think they're moving the slides ahead because I'm getting a little bit long in the tooth here. So, oh my gosh, those are Karen Cope's glasses. They won't do anything for me. So you know what? So Karen, here are your glasses. So this is an interesting slide. You can go back. I love this slide because this slide to me says 5 things. 4. If you look at this from 2007 to 2012, we've invested $123 million building our banks in Africa. We've grown assets from $50 million in 2006 to $210 million that are at work today. If you look at the pink part of the slide, you can see that's all about savings. So that's money that is in our system that is continuing to work. And as we grow our savings portfolio, it does a number of things. It protects the money of our clients that are poor people that need a savings account. It also is helping us really recycle money. And finally, I would say proudly to all of you, we are building an organization that is a sustainable business model for the future. A sustainable business model as we look down the road 50 years from now. So, this is a list of our partners that we're proud of, and we're proud to be partners with all of you as well. But we've got some really great names on that slide. We also have a global leadership team that is comprised of wonderful people that are involved and have been involved in both the private and the public sector. So it takes a great team to do this work, and more about it. And so in wrapping up, I would say, you know, we think about philanthropy the same way that Warren Buffett does. And we're involved with the Buffett family through the Gates Foundation, as well as through his son, Howard. But giving away money should be about results and effectiveness. And so I'm going to wrap up my remarks by thanking you all for being with us over the course of the day. We do genuinely love and appreciate all of you. And I would ask you to join us as we work on our mission of really changing the world for the poor, on focusing our mission on doing our work through Christ's love to love and serve the poor, and to create 20 million jobs by 2020. Thank you very much.